Hello, this is Hunter Coleman representing Xtremery Studios. I'm going to be demonstrating parts of our game, Dawn and Dusk, starting with the main menu. Let's jump right in. We've got the start button, which will start the game. We'll get there. We've got the options button, not working for me. We do have some issues on these menus here. The credits, I would go into it, but I cannot get out if I do. The exit button does exactly what you would hope it would. Let's open it back up here. And then the level select button lets us choose a level. So let's do level, we'll just go to mine through level select. Play button does the same thing. And we're into my level here. Show the pause menu. Pause menu works. We've got volume. Can go back from there. Credits, again, don't want to go into there. Level select. You can just choose my level again. If we were to go to restart, you'll see it turns red. And then we can restart from there. And exit game, I guess I have to show that it works. Okay, and this gives me an option to go back to start to show you the start button works. Convenient. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and read this first sign. First of 4 swords is in this hut. There are 3 more to find before the path behind here can be crossed. Press R to close this message. One issue I had before was that I could still move. I'm trying to move right now. Can no longer move, which is great. We collect the first sword, and we reach our first checkpoint, which is mainly just a demonstration of checkpoints working, and so people know that they're there. Congratulations, you have reached a checkpoint. If you die in your travels, you will respawn at your most recently touched sleeping bag. You can also press X to return to the sleeping bag at any time. Alright, and I'll just demonstrate that. You just do that. It comes right back for you. It's kind of nice. Alright, and we'll read this signpost. The gate opens when you press R when you have the right number of swords. This gate requires 1 sword. Another good change that was made is there used to be a lot of inputs, and we no longer have those. Everything in my level operates on 1 key, and that's R, except for the respawn points. So, read this one. These strange rocks activate platforms for a set duration. Activate with R and move quickly to use the platforms before time runs out. And we will activate that platform. Jump up here. This guy wants to beat me up. Okay, got it. Now we'll touch this sleeping bag. Checkpoint reached. We'll come over here. The sonar platforms were something I spent a lot of time, or well, not a lot of time, but I made very early on in this project. And basically they turn these solid, and then you jump on them. And just recently I added a feature where as they're about to expire, they go ahead and they give player the visual feedback that they're about to run out of time before those things go out. Alright, and we come over here, we just jump up some basic platforms. This is just to get the player acclimated to the way the player jumps. Some basic jumping. The jumping feels pretty good now. Did a lot of adjustments on the jumping system. The AI are something I did a ton of work on. You'll see they have patrol paths. When they see you, they'll start to run towards you. They're not perfectly smart, obviously, but they do that, and they go around. Also, if I were to leave here, right, stay away from them for a minute and come back, they'll search for me. That guy's searching right now, so I'm not going to go over there. I want him to try and walk away so you can see that he will. He's walking away. He's searched there, and he'll like walk, stop, and then he goes back to his path. Pretty happy with the way that works. And if you get close to them, even though they're not turned towards you, they do recognize if you're behind them. And we got that one. They're all gone. Get that. Read this. Congratulations, you're ready for the next trial. Don't forget to press X. I really like to have that there because players have to press X to get out of there, and I would also just hate if they wasted a lot of time retracing their steps. That wouldn't be fun for a player if they forgot about that. This gate opens when you press R, when you have the right number of swords. This gate requires 2 swords. Very self-explanatory. This one says the castle entrance has been lowered. There is still a small opening. Try pressing C to move through it. So you'll see there's a small opening there. Adding in the animations for the crouch was nice, and he automatically stays crouched until there's nothing above him now, which is good. Oh, they're both coming. I'm going to get hit. Yeah. All right. Reached another checkpoint. This one just lets people know that they can press shift to sprint in case they hadn't figured it out yet. and they're going to need it in here, so it's a good place to put it. And we'll just keep taking out enemies. They are pretty consistent. Like if they're close to you and there's like a small window where if you attack them before, they will die before they attack you. But you have to be kind of clever about it. Like that. That's a good attack. But it does require a bit of timing to not get hit. That one hit me. Oh! That guy came. Oh, shoot. He got me. Alright, let's see. You know, I'm actually going to run down. I don't want to end up restarting when I'm higher up the tower. I'm going to go back to the checkpoint real quick. Also, I could have just pressed X, but I didn't. Okay, so we're going to come up here. Move this way. Another good change that was made throughout the project is that I've gotten it so that now, so the player will probably run around here, try and go through here. Oh, it closed. Can't get through there. There's a sign here explaining that, but oops, it says rolling makes you move faster, which is something that needs to be changed. Small issue there. Okay, jump on that, go this way. Yeah, get that guy. There is a way to time that, because if that guy is facing the wrong direction, he will, you can sneak up behind him and kill him. So you have to be a little more patient than I was to do that. I tried to make it so there's always some level of, like, playability to what's going on. I made this guy stay faced away from us. This is a good example of how you can stay crouched and kind of get close before they come at you, and then that gives you that time to be ready to attack before they see you, which is a good way to kill the enemies without being hit. This guy's pretty much going to be impossible, I think, but I'm going to try. Let's see what I can do here. Ah! Nope, he got me. For the most part, it's not super important that you dodge the damage. There's lots of respawns in this level, so, and in other levels there's health and stuff like that around to help you with that. So we have another checkpoint here, and we have another area here to lead us to a tutorial for hooking. Alright, so this gate opens when you press R. When you have the right number of swords, this gate requires 3 swords. So we'll go ahead and press R there. The icicle is a great hook point. Jump towards it, and when you are near it, deploy your hook rope with R to swing across. Jump again to release. One issue, I've had some issues with this hook rope. It's a very hard thing to implement right, but hopefully there we go. It has gotten a lot better. I have worked on it quite a bit, and it generally responds pretty well now, I would say. And let's try it again. There we go. Another change you've probably noticed throughout the project, the attacking's gotten a lot better. This week were able to make it so that the sword actually has to connect with the enemies for the most part using hitbox to make sure that they were actually being hit by the sword. I'm going to jump across this hook rope as well. See, and that feels a lot more smooth. A lot of these easier jumps feel a lot more smooth now. That. Alright, and go to this hook row. And you'll see the leading lines there. They kind of give you an idea of where you're going so you don't get lost on these hook ropes. get up here. Got 2 more enemies. Just going to demonstrate. Yeah, I turned away and I attack. It doesn't work. Come back to the beginning area. Get out of here. And now, as I showed at the beginning of the level, we'll have the option to go up behind here and find our final gate. As we come around, see the gate here. The path ahead is dangerous. Only those that have collected the 4 swords will be granted access. That means us. Alright, let's head on through. Go down here. We'll see the enemy. Boom. Kill him. Okay. Read this sign. If you are reading this, the path above has been blocked. It's hopeless. Throw yourself into the pit of despair and accept that your journey is ended. I've prepared a campfire for you to eat your last supper at. That is my attempt at brevity for what it is worth. Alright, there we go. And we'll swing across here and get on this platform. I'm getting pretty good at this point, but this is somewhat difficult. Oh, spoke too soon. Alright, try it again. Yeah, it's getting hooked on something now. It's not ideal. But I do love the puzzle because it utilizes everything we've gone over in one area. Right? It's a good little final challenge. Make sure you understand the tutorial entirely. And geez, maybe I'll just edit out the million attempts. Kidding, it's not going to take that many. I promise it won't. Okay. Oh, better wait for a second to get this. Really? Okay. Here we go again. Here, here, and I'm not onto that for some reason. Okay. Jump on here. So, let's do it again. I want to make this work really well this time. Okay, you hook on there, you jump, you run across here, and you jump, and you end up here. Oh, and there's an enemy here. It's a bunch of... Alright. And we are reaching the end of our level. Before I let you go, just want to go through what my tasks were. Since they weren't really level directed this week, I felt like the level was reasonably okay on its own, and we had some big issues. Our avatar was not running how you would have liked. It was just some blocks, and it had no animation to it. So I did find a player. The task was that I wanted, as the player, I would like my avatar to feel human-like. I would like my avatar to walk, run, crouch, sprint, swing, attack, and jump like a human would. I would also like for all interactions with NPC characters to involve natural animal reactions. So I found a player avatar. I animated the player avatar, broke the lines to blueprint dependencies from the other avatar. That's more stuff that is just for me to know. As the player, I want to have intelligent enemies that respond to their peers, environment, and enemies. This should include responding to sound cues, having a sight radius, attacking in concert with peers, fleeing when afraid, and searching for my character. And I demonstrated that during it. I guess you can go back and see all of that. And that will reach us to the end of the level. I'll go ahead and go through this door so that we can get to the next section, which will be presented by Kiaen Brown. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Hello, my name is Kiaen Brown, and today I will be showing off what I did for my levels for Capstone. And I forgot to show the pause menus working off in each level. Thank you. My first level, the user story for my first level is as the player I want a level where I can easily find what I need to solve puzzles so that I can spend most of the time solving the puzzle. The completion criteria is there are objects leading the player to the items needed in the main room. There are objects leading the player to the puzzles in the main room. The player cannot place items other than the spear items on the pedestals in the secondary spear puzzle. The doors leading to the puzzles have similar names to the item required to open them. Collectible items have an icon to show that they can be picked up, and there are signs outside of each room that give a hint towards the contained puzzle. The color of the spear and the color of the light combine to be the color of the pedestals in sight. At 12, red is seen. 2 reds are needed at 12:15. The wires take the color of what came last, however, when the platforms are switched on, that connection will last. Yellow, reds, and blues come together to create new hues. If the void is produced, the white light will make the void become reduced. Well, my next user story for my next level is, as the player, I want to have a puzzle at the end of the level so that I can test my knowledges of the spirits. The completion criteria is the normal spirit pickup at the beginning of the level has objects to make it more visible. The current spirit selected is visible when the player is reading text. The fire spirit pickup has objects to make it more visible. The fire spirit pickup has an orange glow. There are markings on the top and bottom of the directions of the earth pillars. Uh, uh, at the top of the bottom of the directions the earth pillars can be hit from. The earth pillars go to their correct locations. A correct location when hit from the proper direction. The earth pillars cannot be hit back to their previous location if their markings are if they only have markings on one side. The player is told how to use the wind spirit right after they unlock it. The player character now shows when this wind spirit is active. The pillars at the end of the level are wide enough for the player to land on. At the end of the level, there is a puzzle that must be solved with the normal element, the fire element, the ice element, the earth element, the wind and the wind element. The end of the level looks similar to the hub, and after completing all of the puzzles, the player is taken to the hub level. then it goes to the hub.
Hello everyone, my name is Austin Cordle, and this is my latest Jira task with the latest build. So we have Jira right here ready to go. Let's go ahead and open up the build. We have the unzip so I can open it right from the depot. And we have the change list number here. Go ahead and open that up. Alright, so from here, let's go ahead and hit start. And we'll go to level select and my level. Alright, so we have the character there. Some stuff here. Alright, so let's go to Jira. And let's go ahead and read all this. So as a player, I want to enter an organized central location. Within the location, I want to traverse between levels that gradually become more advanced, and I progress further into the game. Before each level, I want to be notified of the challenge ahead. So we are in the hub world here, which is the organized central location. Go ahead and open that back up. All right, so we have quite a few here. I'm going to read them a little bit out of order just to kind of keep things more organized. So we want to continue to expand upon the hub world. We want to add a post-processing volume to the hub world to change the setting from day to night. And we'll readjust the lighting to compensate for the post-processing volume. So we'll go over that first. Here, you can see it's not quite night, but it is more of like a dusk feeling. I didn't want to go too dark to keep all the lighting the same pretty much throughout the level. Also, it does kind of set the mood of the central location. So we have a bunch of clouds up top, and we have a fog volume. So when the players run through, it gives it more of a spooky type feel, more of a nestled in the mountains type of feel, which is exactly what I wanted to go for. And then all the lighting, of course, has been readjusted for it. All right, next, let me go over the widgets actually. Readjust all in-game widget text size and locations, and add a darker background to each widget to help make it easier to read. So for here, let's go ahead and talk to the NPC here. I hit R to interact. So we have a darker background, and all the text before was 32, so it was quite large. Now it's 28, so it's a little bit smaller, but it does fit everything clearly, I'd like to say. So we have the darker background, it doesn't get in the way of anything, and it keeps the text contained. There may be small adjustments needed here and there, but 90% of them, I'd say 99% of the widgets are correct and exactly like this. Some of the backgrounds may need to be adjusted though, but all the text is 28 throughout the game. As you can see, if I walk up to the level here, we have the manor, level Stephen, with the darker background. And actually the next point I will go into, where is it? Right here. Add hints before each level that expand upon what the NPC informs you of to allow better hints on how to solve the puzzles. So if I walk up to it, nothing happens. I don't have anything for any of the stuff here. That darkness is the post-processing volume. Nothing here, nothing here. But the NPC, I talk to them, gives me a little hint, area on the left. So say I just beat that level, I come back to the hub world, I obtain the first element in there. This door is going to be open, and when I go to run in, we have a widget that says only the light can guide you. What does the NPC say? The NPC now says you'll need to use your light to shine through the darkness. Only the light can guide you. Of course, we know we're going to use the light element. We want to keep the same theme, but not say, hey, turn your flashlight on. And same thing, we have the fire. I walk up to it, nothing. Pick that up. I now have the widget. Don't let the fire consume you. Balance is needed ahead, because as you can see, we have the nice element in there. Same thing, the NPC text changes again. This was all from last week's sprint from the NPC. Burn through the challenge ahead. And that one says balance is needed, which is perfect. Pick this guy up. This one's the wind. And we have hurricane only lasts so long. How long will you last? It's more so along how powerful the wind ability can be. And again, NPC changes, so it kind of expands to what they say. Wind slice, definitely going to need that. Slice through the challenge ahead. And then we have the earth element. We can ignore that widget. This is just for testing purposes. Talk to the NPC. And of course, the final trial, all of your newfound abilities. And then when you walk in, again, it kind of reiterates that fact: light, fire, wind, and earth. That's perfect. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and go over the fire here. So we wanted to expand upon the fire puzzle to allow our player a more difficult challenge and require them to use multiple elements to progress. So before, the final puzzle was just kind of jump, 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 super easy. So for here, we're going to make it a little bit more challenging. So we have an ice element here, and then we have another door up there with a normal element. So this one does require a destruct. So we're going to do this. We're going to jump, jump. I need to aim a little bit higher. Nope, we're good. Good hitbox on that. Alright, we're going to jump up here. With fire. And then you just get the range fire ability. Destroy that. Alright, then we have the normal. And then again, we don't want the puzzles too difficult because we want the player to be able to progress to it rather simply, but we want them to reuse their abilities. So in here, the player can either shoot it, or they can walk up to it and use their normal ground attack. And then up here, go ahead and use the range for this one. And then we have Cass's level, and this is where you get the wind element. And then you can see with the widget that comes up for Cass's level. Alright, let's go ahead and move back out here. And once you beat that level, you'll go ahead and go through the wind level, which of course, that's what that widget was before. And then we have the final trial there. So that's actually the next point. Here's the sliding. Alright, so we want to expand upon the final puzzle, or rearrange the final puzzle to make each section longer. Before, the final puzzle was very, very short. It was just you open the door, jump up a couple platforms, boom, the door's right there. So now we have a much longer section. We wanted to add an ice element, and add basic puzzle elements, final puzzle with moving destructibles and doors to ensure the player fully understands their abilities before moving to the final boss. So those are my last tasks. If I walk forward here, of course we have a big old rock. We noticed that the widget before said that you need to use them all. We just got the earthquake ability, use that. Nice and simple. And then from here, it does get dark. Just like the first puzzle, use the flashlight. Heavy shadows here, which is the kind of feel that I wanted to go for. This one's an ice door. Shoot that there. Comes down. Go back to the normal spirit because we'll turn that off. Alright, so here we have an ice door. This one's pretty simple. These burn the player, so if you walk through, you will get damaged. Let's go up here. Switch over to ice. Jump down. Shoot this target. That might have been a little bit too high. Yeah, because Spirit wasn't quite caught up. There we go. Perfect. Shoot that down. Double jump up that, or the Wind Spirit, of course. Alright, here we can see the Earth Pillars and a Destructible over there. So we have some moving stuff here. Over to 4. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. Only one of these can be moved. If you move them both, the player can't reach the other side. If they use the wind ability, they'll be able to land on one. But if they just try to jump over it normally, they will not. So you could either use the wind ability or just move one pillar. And then here, go ahead and break that. And everything is moving a little bit slower, as you can see with the Spirit Follow and the projectiles. We did cap the frame rate to 30. We are going to raise that back up to 60. But for the meantime, that actually got rid of all of our lag pretty much. So just like any playtest or anything that were done, if the player experienced any lag, that should actually be resolved now, just simply by turning on smooth frame rate and adjusting the cap. Alright, so this last puzzle isn't really a puzzle, it's more so to set the theme and the vibe of everything. So if I jump down here, we could either go up the ramp, go back. Player can explore a little bit, see what's going on. I see a bunch of rubble. bunch of pillars falling down that kind of point the player into this direction here. And then the big old door. And of course another widget. Come far hero, evil awaits ahead. And this kind of sets the theme of sitting in the middle of the mountains, walking in towards the final boss, a nice big door. And good luck hero, this goes to Kai's level. And boom, Kai's boss. So we're going to go through the menu. This is the pause menu here, level select, go back to my level. And immediately after mine, we do have Steven's level. So we're going to go ahead and go through Steven's level. And that was all of my Jira tasks and a playthrough of my hub world there. And we'll go ahead and let Steven take care of his level now. Thank you for watching my my tasks and level.
Hello, my name is Steven Shipwash with Team Xtremery, and this is our project. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and open it up through here. All right, we have Dawn and Dusk. We have our main menu here. We have the start, options, credits, exit, and level select. We're going to go ahead and select on the level select. We're going to load into my level. All right, and the first thing I want to do here is I want to go ahead and look at the tasks that we have. And we actually have one of the tasks as the pause menu here, so we'll go ahead and load into that. And it says, as the player, I would like the pause screen to be more centered so it lines up properly on the screen. The completion criteria we have is fix the pause menu location to be more centered and even. Inside of here, we're going to go to the pause menu. And what I've done here is I actually loaded the imagery here, and I lined up all of the stuff along the top of the image so everything looks real clean and centered. All right, now that we looked at the pause menu, we're going to go ahead and resume the level. All right, perfect. All right. And we're actually going to come up to our very first part of the level here. As the player, I would like to be able to enter a manner, navigate puzzles in a logical order, and view the environment outside through windows and doors. I also want the manner to be proportionate to the size of my avatar. And we're actually going to look at the first completion criteria we have is NPCs placed to explain objects. And that's what we're going to do when we talk to this person. We're going to talk to this guy. Alright, this journey will be dark. Press E while using your normal spirit to help light up your way. Make your way through the forest manner. Alright, and so he actually explained to us what we're going to be using. So we press E. And that was another one of our tasks we have is widgets for the HUD explaining the level. And so we have a widget down here that explains how to use the actual spirit. Alright. Step on the checkpoint. Once you step on this checkpoint, you press X to return to it. This will update each one of the checkpoints you find. They're spread throughout the map. Be sure to look. Please excuse those boxes. They need to be burned a long time ago. And so, as you can see, we stepped into another widget, and it explains exactly what's going to happen. You will need to find your way through the manor. You will need to find keys placed throughout the manor to progress. Don't forget to look high and low. Okay, very good. I'm done with this key. And one of my other completion criteria we have is we want to reduce the size of the doors to be proportional to the avatars and make sure that the doors rotate properly. So we're going to notice that here. And the door open. John ran down to the basement and locked the door to the stairs. We must find another way in. Libraries always seem to hold secrets. I don't know why. Please help. Listen. All right, and one of the next completion criteria we have is we have the golden path by adding bodies and blood and light. All right, and so as you can see here, we have a little bit of blood on the ground. We have our little buddy there, he's kind of down on the ground, kind of guiding us away on our way for the journey. Now we can see we enter the library. As you can see at the top of the screen there, it's one of the widgets we added. And now that we enter the basement. I had to get away from everyone. They were scaring me. They all started to speak strangely. Okay, and it says I hit the second floor. All right, and one of my next tasks we have was, if you actually see where it says current item, where it says basement door key, one of my tasks was I would like the player, as the player, I would like the size of the item picked up to be smaller so it would fit on the screen properly. It fixed the text pickup size to fit on the screen. All right, and as we can see here, that's actually what we have here on the right side of the screen. So it fits on the screen properly, so it's not going too far. And as you can see here, it's going to tell us how to use our sphere. As you can see here, we're on body. I've not been able to get through the door on the second floor to get her. John was speaking gibberish before he went and locked himself in the basement. And one of my tasks here was to open the walls and the rooms. We have we had add windows to the manor, and so we have we have manor windows here on the outside. That's the back door. Now we are on the second floor. And we're going to come up to another one of the tasks. We have opened the walls in the rooms and placed burnable objects to block paths. That's what we have here. More windows. Following that golden path still. I had it here for as long as there's something in the wall in this place. I cannot believe it. John was right all along. I think I saw a roof with the roof access key. Here we see Luis from the top. Get to the top. Grab our sword. And see if this goes. Benjamin, hopefully you grab the key from the tower. I didn't have the skill to burn the roof here to escape. Use the fire spirit to quickly get through the back door. Burnett. So one of my next tasks was to remove all of the rollable ramps. And that was actually here. We had one in here that would actually roll down. Force the player to move this way. Remove those. Alright, and one of my other tasks was to force the player to use the jumps here. There's no way for the person to make it to the other side without actually doing this. And my very last task that I had here was we had a broken bridge, and as you can see here, broken, can't get across right now to the other side. So we forced the jump puzzle, and then we had add the broken bridge. We got rid of the roll ramps, and we opened the walls. Press this, and this will actually include the end of my level. And you see the Shipwash, and we are actually entering into the hub world. Our world goes into the hub world each time, in between each level. All right, thank you. My name is Steven Shipwash. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Aaron Carter. I am with Team Xtremery, and this is our final build. Once it loads. Alright, so I will go level select. I will go to my level. In here, once the lighting catches up, volume, you can adjust the volume. So you can kind of hear how you want it to be. Go back in, that fixes that, which takes care of my, as the player I want to change this, I want to be able to change the slider, go back into the game, then back into the settings and see the level it is at to change it again. Okay. So then you can do the credits. You can restart the game. And then you can select a level. So I'll just select Kai's here real quick. Okay. And then we'll go back to mine. And the exit game I will show at the end. So you can run through here. I have the NPC. I had trouble with the camera, so the camera angle doesn't work quite like I wanted it to. Here, this is a dangerous land. The inhabitants have gone insane with an endless winter that has been plaguing the land of the Lord. Collect the swords in the bar and church and take them to defeat the Lord. So you have your information. You can make your way down here. Following the path, you can see the castle in the top corner there. The church over to the side. So if you follow the dirt path here, which is guiding you along your way, which is actually another task that I had, which as the player I want to have a level that flows fluently and doesn't feel as though you need to diverge from the path is leading you down to complete your goal. So organize the way and the works with the story, so every major point is hit, gives the player a few more in-game hints. So if I go back to the game, obviously you see the 2 major points there, and then you come around the corner here and you see these guys, but they seem to be protecting the sword, which is a little off the path, but not enough to cause a problem. Let's take a little damage. Defeat them. I will grab the sword here. Come over. We can defeat these guys. We can use our fire spirit to do something. I don't think that guy got hit by it, but... So those guys take 3 hits. That was from the last sprint. So there's 2 paths. That way leads to the Lord, which you need to collect the other swords in the barn church first. So as the mission tells you, you come around the corner. You see a guard standing at the door to the church. You can alert him. And then with your secondary fire attack, which you press E to use, you can get rid of all 3 of the guards that were in here. Grab the sword. Make your way out. Over here I added in a health pack. So the level wasn't as hard as it once was. Grab that. Move down to the bar, which is the Lord's Pub. Make your way up the steps. Grab the sword. The number 1 rule of the bar, do not stand on a bar top or table. If you do, bartender, danger driver tell you, tables are for glasses, get them. The patrons of the bar will get up in 1 fluid motion, turning and attacking the hero. So you jump down and they all kind of swarm you. Takes a lot of health off, but that's going to work for the boss final here. So you can go back the same way. I'm going to fall off the side here and just kind of make my way back to the center point that I had. And then as we get close, here's a little platforming. Get through this. I thought I fixed the lighting the last time I did this, but up here, you'll see in a second here, I come into an issue where the lighting gets really dark. I'm not quite sure what happened here. You can still see the platforms, especially with their color. Here, the Lord has frozen the door. The land is behind that door. Use your fire ability up close to the door to burn it down and seek revenge. So, there's actually a checkpoint here, so you can use the checkpoint, which will fully heal you. And then you can use your fire ability up close. You can burn down the door. And then the Lord is here. His health bar shows up. He comes after you. I normally don't get hit on this first phase. And then it switches to a second phase, where now he is going to shoot ice walls at you in a random timing order. So I'm going to actually jump up here so he can't hit me for a second, because this is my other task that was a big thing. As the player, I want to have a boss that fights back in phases so it doesn't feel stagnant and overdrawn. So give the boss 2 phases, which I just showed. Have the boss gain a different attack in the second phase that will go after the player. Create a second attack, which is that ice attack. Have the boss's health increase to reflect the changes, which I did. He used to have 10 health, and now he has 20, so it's 10 per phase. Change the boss in the second phase to a different size and speed to reflect the changes. He doesn't really move in the second phase, so that's changed in the speed. And he is definitely a lot bigger. And create a second arena in the same level that will be accessed during the boss fight to complete the level, which is the second area. So now, if I go down, I can keep whacking at his legs. The boxes sometimes get stuck if he's in the air when he gets hit. So I can just kind of dodge and work my way around. But I did want to point out, do one thing. Just let myself... When you die, go back to the respawner. Good to go. And then there's the teleporter here. That takes you back to the boss fight. And he's ready to go again. So we'll just come over, we'll defeat the boss. Couple little sneaks between the legs. Took another hit there. Congratulations, you have defeated the Lord of Ice. Continue through the portal and continue through the other worlds. So when you go through the portal, you end up back in the hub world. Alright. And here's the exit game from earlier. Alright, thanks guys.
Hello, my name is Mason Burnett, and I will be showing you my complete level playthrough of our Team Xtremery project and all my Jira tasks. Right here, I can show you the change list description for the recent upload, 867307. There's a crash issue for it being unzipped on my computer, so I had to take it from the builds and extract it to a folder in my files. And I'll have to open it from there to get it to work properly. I'll start by opening my level. I'll show you the pause menu. Turn down the volume a little bit on the music. Show the credits. All the designers. Person we use some assets from. A YouTube video on how to use those assets that contains a link to get access to those assets. Sorry. Over to my Jira stories. I had to fix some lighting issues as a bug in my level. Those are fixed. Update the credits menu. Credits need to be updated, include everything added to the project, as you saw. As the player, I want to have the wind spirit gradually increase my height as I hold the jump button while it's activated so that I can control how high I want to go within the limits. Push criteria, make the wind spirit increase jump height as the button is held. I'll show that. With these hook points. Got a widget there that says you're at Wind Mountain, where the Wind Lord resides. Find him and defeat him. So activate the wind spirit and we will just tap the button. You can see it goes to the hooks. Wait for it. Activate it again and hold down the button. As you can see, it goes higher. Now we'll start by going here. The player goes on a bridge, bridge falls, they go down a slide that leads them into a cave down here. It says if it's too dark, maybe you can light this place up. It's pretty lit up. It was dark before. It was really dark before, but still got some dark corners like this where you can light up the place. I'll show you my Jira stories one more time. As the player, I want to have a more believable space in the level I'm playing so that I feel more immersed in the creative world intended for me. Completion criteria, add assets to the level to make it more believable. Add rocks to the areas, such as like this cave, which was like change the cave's appearance to make it seem more dark and rocky, and fix the lighting issues, which was mostly for the cave. And you can light up corners like this with the normal spirit. Got a couple of rocks in here. Little path that leads over there and some rocks that form into an arrow on the wall over there. Got another widget here that says these doors can be opened with spirit abilities. Hit the buttons with the magic colors to open them. They follow that path that seems inviting. They can collect a key. Hit this white button with the white spirit ability and it opens that door over there. They can open the blue button with the blue spirit. See, it's dark in here. And then they can open the green button with the earth spirit. Now they can come over here, fight a few enemies, and they can burn these crates. Now they can open this door, and they can make the first set of jumps across using the wind spirit. Get a widget here. Is that enemy wearing metal armor? I'm not sure if you can beat it with your current abilities. Try avoiding for now. The player does not have the current abilities to handle metal enemies. They will earn it throughout the level. Now they make the first set of jumps up the mountain. Get a widget here. Giant wood crates ahead. Burn them with fire. They earned ability in previous levels of a projectile fire attack that they can use to burn the crates. Keep going up. One more crate to burn. I'm gonna hit this pillar over here, save some time. Which they would be notified with a widget from up here. That is too far of a jump. Use your Earth Spirit on the pillar to the left. You can use that, hit that pillar to now be able to make this jump across here. Where their path would be blocked by this metal door, which they would have no choice to come fight this enemy over here. Got a health bar that pops up. She's killed. This spawns. They can touch it. So some noises, so some light ups. They'll get a widget over here now. It says should have a new ability now. Try activating the wind spirit and press E to see what happens to that metal wall up ahead. They see they can destroy metal walls. And another metal enemy they can deal with. More jumps up. You can freeze this water to gain some height to reach the next jumps. One more checkpoint. Last set of water to freeze. Oops. Excuse my terrible jumping. Now we'll come up here. And accidentally return to the checkpoint with the X button. No biggie. Just do it one more time. Maybe I'll get this jump right this time. Smooth sailing so far. And now the last jump up the mountain where they will face the boss. He is metal, but they know they can deal with metal with their new ability. The manor was not able to be accessed until they defeat the boss, where this bridge would spawn and they could go in it. Says the door back to the hub world is close by. Now they can come through here where they'll have a final test of a lot of enemies. Personally, I prefer to use the fire spirit to deal with them. Pick out the stragglers. They come around here where they can burn this crate. To jump on this moving pillar, and they can crouch under this wall to go through the portal back to the hub world. And up next we have Amber Proue. Thank you for watching.
My name is Amber Proue, and I'm going to go over the build for today on April 27th. I'm going to go ahead and open up the build from Perforce over here in the latest build folder. Alright, I'm going to select my level from the menu. Okay, I will start out with getting past showing the pause menu. We changed the background of it so it fits the game better. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get past this rock real quick so that I can show my tasks in Jira. We also fixed the lag, so I no longer lag when coming into the temple here. Alright, so going to the task. This user story is, as the player, I want to test my aiming skills in the ice room so that I can hit the targets and collect a reward. So this is me completely changing up the ice room. This all these tasks here, I'll go over that once we get to that area. For the one that's next was this bug I wanted to fix, which is Earthlord UI glitches when player enters a trigger. So I fixed that so it no longer glitches. I also went ahead and moved the Earthlord closer so that the player is forced to interact with him. There's a sword here we want to collect, and then we go straight towards the Earthlord. When we talk to him, camera shifts up, and there's new dialogue here telling the player that he cannot leave unless he collects all 5 swords inside the temple. Now instead of just walking out of a trigger, we hit goodbye. I'll go ahead and get to the ice room so I can read off those tasks. There we go. So, first task. Create a trigger for when the player enters the ice room to start the aim challenge. So there's 3 that are connected to each other that I'm just going to read off straight and then show. Set UI explaining the rules of the ice challenge when the player steps on the platform, and then make a sign that encourages the player to step on the platform. So for this one, the sign is right here, telling the player to step on the platform. And then once we step on the platform, we're just going to have the trigger that tells the player the rules. See that moving target? Let's try hitting it with our ice power. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Oops. Alright. Alright, good job, I got it. The ground opened up, let's go. So going back to Jira, after we hit the target, we created a UI for when the player hits the first target, explaining I did a good job. And then, when the player hits the first target, open a door to the next aim area. So once we hit it, this door opened up. So we're going to go ahead and fall underneath. Alright, and going back, I will show, there's a task down here for block mesh the underground target rooms. So once I got underground, the block mesh, there's 2 areas, which I'll show here soon. The next one from this list is create UI for when the player hits the second target, telling them good job. When the player hits the second target, open the door to the next area of the third target. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to step up here and try and hit this target. Oh, missed it. It's a little harder. Gets a little harder each room. Dang it. Oh, it might be too far. There, now we should get it. There we go. So, tells us good job. The wall ahead of us opened up. So we're going to follow this path. Here's the third area with the other targets. So for these, they all connect. This one is create UI congratulating the player for winning the ice challenge, and tell them to go and collect the sword and to go back to the main element room. And then when the player hits the third, fourth, and fifth targets, spawn the sword. So we're gonna, here's the other room. Once we get in here, it'll start. We have to hit 3 targets. It's a lot harder than it was before. Got one. Good job. Got another one. Let's get the last one. Oh. Got it. So there's the spawn. As you did it, collect the sword and make your way out. So we're going to collect the sword. A sign appears saying step on the platform. We're going to go ahead and step on that. It's going to take us up and out. So now I'm going to go ahead and just complete the rest of the rooms so I can show the win condition. So it's kind of dark here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my light off, or light on. Oops. There we go. It's dark, we need a light. I fixed the moving pads so that if the player does fall off, it will reset. That way the player isn't stuck down here. One sword left. In case the player didn't have the light on, there's some help there. Found all the swords. Let's get back to the Earth Lord so we can get out of here. There we go. This way. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the light off. There we go. You have found all 5 swords. You have shown me you are worthy of peace. I will grant you passage to go home. So let's leave. And once we pass through the gate, then this portal here is going to take us to the hub level. So we just pass through. And here we are. Thank you for watching.
My last level that I worked on is as the player, I want a level where I can defeat the final boss so that I can test what I've learned against them. The completion criteria is the boss can move around the room but does not move while attacking. The light caused by the boss's normal secondary attack is more visible, so the player knows its correct location. The boss has a secondary attack while in the fire element. The boss has a secondary attack while in the ice element. The boss has a secondary attack while in the earth element. And the boss has a secondary attack while in the wind element. When the player chooses to receive help from the spirit, it will tell the player when the boss is attacking. When the player chooses to receive help from the spirit, it will tell the player when the boss is vulnerable, when the boss is switching elements, and it will tell the player what element to use on the boss. Oh, I got caught.